Have you ever felt invisible because you couldn't speak the language around you? Imagine walking into a room full of people laughing, talking, sharing their stories, and you just sit there, silent, struggling to find even a single word. That fear, that frustration, it's crushing. You feel small. You feel trapped. You feel like the world is moving forward while you are stuck behind a wall of words you cannot reach. This is the story of learning English, the struggle that millions face, and the journey that can change everything. When I first started learning English, it felt like climbing a mountain in the dark. Every word, every sentence was a step into the unknown. I remember the first time I tried to speak to a stranger. My heart was racing. My palms were sweaty. And when I opened my mouth, all I could manage were broken words, jumbled sounds that didn't make sense. The person smiled politely, nodded, and walked away. But inside me, a storm of disappointment was raging. I felt embarrassed, angry at myself, hopeless even. How could everyone else talk so easily, while I struggled to say the simplest things? It's easy to give up at that point. Easy to tell yourself, I'm not good at this, or I'll never be able to speak English like them. I almost did. I almost let that fear win. But something inside me whispered, don't stop. You can do this. And that tiny whisper became my guide. It led me to a simple truth. Learning English is not about perfection. It's about courage. It's about showing up day after day, even when it hurts. At first, every step was small. I started with tiny conversations, simple greetings, asking and answering easy questions. How are you? I am fine. What is your name? My name is... Short sentences. Simple words. But even those small sentences felt like victories. Every time I spoke, I felt a little braver. Every time I understood someone, even a little, my confidence grew. But the journey was not smooth. There were days when I felt invisible again. I wanted to speak, but my tongue felt heavy. My mind froze. I could see other learners talking easily, laughing, expressing themselves freely. And I thought, why can't I do that? Why am I so slow? It was painful. It felt like failure was written on my forehead. And then something changed. I realized that learning English is not a race. It is a journey. And every mistake, every awkward sentence, every stutter is not failure. It is progress. This is where everything changed for me. I stopped fearing mistakes. I stopped hiding my voice. I started practicing out loud every single day, alone in my room, in front of the mirror, on the phone, repeating the same sentences again and again until they felt natural. No one saw this coming. The shy, quiet person who couldn't even ask for water in English was slowly becoming someone who could tell a story, who could express ideas, who could laugh and make friends in a language that once felt impossible. And it wasn't magic. It was persistence. It was courage. It was refusing to give up, even when it hurt. One day, I walked into a room, much like that first room so many years ago. People were talking, sharing stories. And I joined in. I spoke. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but I spoke. And do you know what happened? People listened. People smiled. People responded. I felt a surge of hope, a rush of freedom. I had broken through the wall that once trapped me. That fear, that frustration, that feeling of being invisible, it was gone. And in its place was confidence, determination,
joy.
Learning English taught me more than just words. It taught me patience. It taught me bravery. It taught me that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every stutter, every wrong word, every awkward pause was a step forward. And the most powerful lesson? That courage is louder than fear. That persistence is stronger than doubt. That even when you feel small and invisible, Your voice matters. And this is the lesson I want you to take today. You might be struggling. You might feel invisible in a world that speaks a language you don't fully understand yet. You might be embarrassed. You might want to give up. But don't, because your voice matters. Your story matters. Your courage matters. Start with small steps. Short sentences. Simple words. Practice every day. Speak, even if your words are broken. Speak, even if you feel afraid. And slowly, step by step, you will find your voice. Remember, learning English is not just about speaking a language. It's about breaking walls. It's about finding freedom. It's about showing the world and yourself that you can grow, that you can overcome, that you can shine. No one can take that journey for you. Only you can walk it. But every word you speak, every sentence you try, every effort you make is a victory. So start today. Open your mouth. Speak that word. Ask that question. Make that sentence. You will stumble. You will struggle. But every moment of discomfort is a moment of growth. Every mistake is a step closer to fluency. Every pause is a pause before courage. And one day, you will look back and see how far you have come. The shy, silent person will be gone. In their place will be someone who speaks, who shares, who connects, who grows. Your journey is not just about English. It's about life. It's about courage. It's about believing that no matter how small or invisible you feel today, you can rise tomorrow. You can speak. You can express. You can shine. And the first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. So, what are you waiting for? Speak. Practice. Don't stop. Every word you say is a victory. Every sentence you form is a triumph. And slowly, beautifully, your English will grow. Your confidence will grow. Your world will open in ways you never imagined. This is the magic of persistence. This is the power of courage. And this is your story waiting to be written. Remember this. The world is listening. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And today, right now, is the moment to start. Speak. Practice. Shine. And never, ever give up. If this story inspired you, if it made you feel brave enough to speak that next word, then like, subscribe, and join me in the next episode. Together, we will practice, we will grow, and we will discover the power of English and the power inside you. Because your voice deserves to be heard, and the world is waiting.